Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Muzakkir Asyraf bin Saharudin and two others group members, Muhammad Nazmi bin Razali and Nur Muhammad Furqan bin Mazlan. In this video, we will make demonstration video about an upside down glass bottle experiment. We will show and explain the theory and calculation that prove the reason why the water does not spill out. List of items used in this experiment.
First item, glass. Second, a piece of cardboard. Make sure that the cardboard is long and wide enough to cover the entire mouth of the glass. Third item, water. And the last item is sink.
Step 1.
Begin by filling the empty glass with water. Ensure that the water is completely to the top of the glass. If there is any space between the water and the cardboard, the experiment won't work.
Step 2.
Gently place the cardboard on the top of the glass.
Step 3.
Move the glass over the sink.
Step 4.
Gently place your hand on the cardboard, then flip the glass over.
Step 5.
Remove your hand from the bottom and watch in amazement as the cardboard stays covering the glass and the water doesn't spill out. When you first turn the upside down, the pressure of the air inside the glass and the air pressure outside the glass are equal. If you look closely, however, you will notice that just a little water leaks out between the cardboard and the glass. This happens because the force of gravity naturally pulls down on the water. When some of the water escapes, this causes the volume of air, the space above the water inside the glass, to increase slightly. Even though the amount of air above the water stays the same, the volume occupied by the air is now greater and the air pressure inside the cup decreases. The pressure of the air outside the glass is now greater than the pressure inside the glass, and the cardboard stays in place. All of this is possible because the water creates an airtight seal between the rim of the glass and the cardboard. When the seal is broken, even a tiny bit, air enters into the glass, equalizes the pressure, and gravity pushes the water out. Poking a thumbtack-sized hole in the glass allows air to seep into the glass from the outside. The pressure of the air molecules both inside and outside the glass stays the same. Gravity takes over, the cardboard falls, and the water spills.
For the calculation, when cardboard close the mouth of the glass, the pressure inside the glass and the pressure outside the glass was same. When we flip the glass, the Boyle's law occur. Okay, when the Boyle's law occur, the water will spill out little bit of the glass. Okay, when the water spill out little bit of the glass, volume of the air inside the glass will increase. Volume will increase. So when volume will increase, the pressure inside the glass will decrease. So just now the pressure was same, but now the pressure of inside the glass is decreased. So the pressure outside the glass is greater than inside the glass. So volume air inside increase, pressure air inside decrease. So when the pressure outside the glass is greater than inside the glass, the pressure will pull upside. So the cardboard will stay at the place. The force of the cardboard show that is upside. So the force on the card is just the pressure times the area over which the pressure is applied. Okay, that's all.
Continue with question B.
Question B, we will choose one real life example of process, and we will explain of the fluid mechanic understanding or application used in the process. We will also add further explanation about application that we will use in this question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nazmi bin Razali, and the rest is Muhammad Muzakkir Asyraf bin Saharudin and Nur Muhammad Furqan bin Mazlan. Today we want to present to you the thermofluid assignment to fluid mechanics, Bernoulli principle application on airplanes. Introduction of Bernoulli principle. Daniel Bernoulli, 1700 to 1782, was a Dutch-born scientist who studied in Italy and eventually settled in Switzerland. Born into a family of renowned mathematicians, his father, Johann Bernoulli, was one of the early developers of calculus, and his uncle, Jacob Bernoulli. Jacob Bernoulli was the first to discover the theory of probability. After Daniel's study, he moved to Venice, where he worked on mathematics and practical medicine. Bernoulli built his work off that of Newton. In 1738, he published Hydrodynamica, his study in fluid dynamics, or the study of how fluids behave when they are in motion. Air, like water, is fluid. However, unlike water, which is a liquid, air is a gaseous substance. Air is considered a fluid because it flows and can take on different shapes. Bernoulli asserted in Hydrodynamica that as a fluid moves faster, it produces less pressure, and conversely, slower moving fluids produce greater pressure. Bernoulli principle application on airfoil. We are able to explain how lift is generated for an airplane by gaining an understanding of the force at work on an airplane and what principle guide those force. First, it takes thrust to get airplane moving. Newton's first law at work. This law states that an object at rest remains at rest while an object in motion remains in motion, unless acted upon by an external force. Then, because of the shape of an airplane wings, called an airfoil, the air into which the airplane flies is split at the wings leading edge, passing above and below the wing at different speeds so that the air will reach the same endpoint along the trailing edge of the wing at the same time. In general, the wing's upper surface is curved so that the air rushing over the top of the wing speed up and stretch out, which decrease the air pressure above the wing. In contrast, the air flowing below the wing move in a straight line. Thus, its speed and pressure remain about the same. Since high pressure always move toward low pressure, the air below the wing pushes upward toward the air above the wing. The wing in the middle is then lifted by the force of the air perpendicular to the wing. The faster an airplane moves, the more lift there is. When the force of lift is greater than the force gravity, the airplane is able to fly, and because of the thrust, the airplane is able to move forward in flight. Theory of flight. For the lift, the component of the net force due to the viscous and pressure force that is perpendicular to the flow direction. This is the lift formula and the lift coefficient. The shape of a typical airfoil is asymmetrical. Its surface area is greater on top than on the bottom. As the air flows over the airfoil, it is displaced more by the top surface than the bottom. According to the continuity law, this displacement or loss of flow area must lead to an increase in the velocity. The flow velocity is increased some by the bottom airfoil surface, but considerably less than the flow on top. The Bernoulli equation states that an increase in velocity leads to a decrease in pressure. The higher the velocity of the flow, the lower the pressure. Air flowing over an airfoil will decrease in pressure. The pressure loss over the top surface is greater than that of the bottom surface. The result is a net pressure force in the upward positive direction. This pressure force is lift. There is no predetermined shape for a wing airfoil. It is designed based on the function of the aircraft it will be used for. To aid the design process, engineers use the lift coefficient to measure the amount of lift obtained from a particular airfoil shape. Lift is proportional to dynamic pressure and wing area. For the drag, every physical body that is propelled through the air will experience resistance to the air flow. The resistance is called drag. Drag is proportional to dynamic pressure and the area on which it acts. The drag coefficient, analogous to the lift coefficient, is a measure of the amount of dynamic pressure gets converted into drag. Unlike the lift coefficient, however, engineers usually design the drag coefficient to be as low as possible. Low drag coefficients are desirable because an airplane's efficiency increases as drag decreases. For the conclusion, we can conclude that the way that airflow move affects how the pressure distribution and lift is manifested in an airfoil. We might also add that decreasing the angle of attack results in a negative or downward lift, and that increasing it results in a positive or upward lift. One also has to take into consideration that while you increase lift by increasing the angle of attack, if you reach stall condition, the airplane will lose lift and will plummet, making this a very dangerous state. So that's all from me and my group. Thank you.